The policies Democrats called racist were all over the DNC Convention in Chicago this week. How about that? Welcome to the Jason Rantz Show, presented by None Better Tax Resolution. A funny thing happened on the way to the Democrats' convention in Chicago this week. The party of white saviors implemented highly secure border walls around the United Center. The fencing went up swiftly, and a whole lot of it. And that fencing was lined by DNC Border Patrol agents. They were armed and everything. Now, the intent, of course, was obvious. It was to keep bad actors out. Those bad actors happened to be the base of the Democrat Party, Jew-hating progressives who side with Hamas.
Every Palestinian support Hamas, not just me. Every Palestinian support Hamas.
Do you support October 7th?
Who?
October 7th.
October 7th? Yes, I do. What's wrong with October 7th? You tell me.
Women and children.
What?
It's a murder.
What is this?
I wouldn't want those people hanging out with me at the convention either, though maybe not everyone holds that sentiment.
Those protesters out in the street, they have a point.
In any case, it appears these borders were working. Sure, there was the occasional progressive activist who got over the wall, but because it's thoughtfully and intentionally staffed, they got caught and actually arrested. Now, let's say you're attending the DNC convention. You'll be hit with yet another racist policy.
But to get into this arena, you had to show your ID 8 times.
It's racist to have to ask for an ID when it comes to voting. That's what we're told. And yet, when it comes to getting into the DNC convention, you've got to show your ID 8 separate times. That's a whole lot of racism. Are we sure any black people were able to actually get into the convention? I mean, this is the argument coming from the left.
These type of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
You can always get IDs you do over the internet. Does that also make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet service provider for certain fees.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data.
For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or they're not informed.
Black people don't have the internet or smartphones. They don't even have access to DMVs. That's progressive thinking. Have Democrats actually ever met black people who aren't part of the donor class or the elites? I guess the one good thing to come out of this convention is that knowledge that the very policies that they decry aren't in fact racist. They're actually quite effective. Kind of makes you wonder why Democrats, when it comes to letting people cross the border illegally and voting without an ID, suddenly don't support the very policies they use to protect themselves. How about that? I sat down with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. Tell me a little bit about the Fresh Start program, because again, based on how it's promoted, it seems really, really simple.
This Fresh Start program and that phrase has been around for many, many, many years now. But it's a great marketing tool to say, hey, fresh start. And in a way, for those that qualify, it is. What it essentially is an offer in compromise. And to get that, there's two main criteria a person must qualify for. One, they must have limited or no equity in assets. So generally, anyone in the Puget Sound region that owns a home and has for several years, they're going to have a lot of equity. They won't qualify. And the other is an income level. And that all depends upon your family size about how much income that could be. But both of those standards need to be met to qualify. Most people do not.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn of None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967. Or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution. Did you like that commentary? Make sure you subscribe to the podcast of The Jason Rantz Show. Get it at KTTH.com or wherever it is you download your podcasts.